Welcome to the Knowledge Seeker channel. The channel is dedicated to exploring critical issues in the world. This presentation is titled Sections of the Bible that deal with war, killing, pillaging, and slavery. This is the Holy Bible. Let's briefly look at the Bible. The Bible is one of the most widely read books in the world. Generally, it is highly revered by all, including believers and non-believers. However, there are two main ways in which people view the Bible. One, those who believe that it contains the words of God, hence regard it as a very sacred book. And two, those who believe that it is a mere book like any other written material and do not believe that it is a sacred book. Those who regard it as a sacred book believe that the Bible is a perfect book because it contains the words of God. On the other hand, those who view it as a general source of educational information about existence seems to regard it as a mere book written by humans. Hence, it is filled with mistakes and contradictions that are characteristics of human imperfection. Now, why the divergent and or polarizing views about the Bible? That is a good question. The reason is that those who view the Bible as a sacred book generally tend to read mostly the sections that reinforce their religious beliefs. They are encouraged and assisted by their religious leaders to read sections that enhance their religions. On the other hand, those who believe that the Bible is a general book of knowledge written by various authors to espouse ancient traditional beliefs as well as document the history, culture, religion, politics, and wars, read the book for purpose of educational information. Such individuals read the Bible broadly to determine academic accuracy and relevance. Those who read the Bible and view it as containing the words of God generally do not pay attention to the contradictions that exist in the Bible because they are very selective in their readings to reinforce their religious beliefs. On the other hand, those who read it for academic purposes often see the contradictions that are apparent in various sections. Consequently, just as the Bible devotes most of its pages to the ways of worshiping God, it also contains sections that justify bloody wars, mass killings, pillaging, and slavery. Therefore, the Bible can be used to do good or commit evil acts. Now, let's look at the contradictions in the Bible. There are many contradictions in the Bible, but a few are enough for this presentation. 1. It is stated in the King James edition of the Bible that God created man and woman equally. Then in the explanatory section, it is stated that God took a rib from Adam to create Eve. For instance, in Genesis 1, verse 27 states, "So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them." That means that God created both man and woman equally at the same time. Then in Genesis 2, verse 22, it states, "And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto the man." You see, that explanation is totally different from the first explanation of creation, and that creates a contradiction. 2. The story about Adam and Eve giving birth to Cain and Abel too seems incomplete The doubt is prompted by the narrative that after Cain killed Abel, God banished him from the Garden of Eden to roam the earth. Then suddenly it is stated that he impregnated a woman without mentioning where the woman came from. Genesis 4, verse 16 states, "And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod, on the east of Eden." Then in Genesis 4, verse 17, it is stated, "And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch." The question is, were there other people apart from Adam, Eve, and Cain on earth? If Nod was already occupied by human beings, then the story of Adam and Eve being the first human beings is nullified. Moreover, God had to put a mark on Cain so that he would not be killed by other human beings, which means there were other people apart from Cain and Abel and Adam and Eve. Contradiction 3. While Christianity is associated with one God, that is monotheism, the Old Testament gives credence to the idea of many gods, polytheism, as it is stated in Genesis 1, verse 26. "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness." Again, I repeat, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. After our likeness, that is a plural word. Again, in Psalm 82, verse 1, it is stated, "God has taken his place in the divine council. In the midst of the gods, he holds judgment." This is a clear statement that apart from God, there are other gods in the Bible. Therefore, polytheism seems to be the practice. Now, let's look at the purpose of this presentation, since we've briefly explained the biblical situation. To examine the sections of the Bible that most Christians, particularly pastors, evangelists, and missionaries, rarely touch upon when making biblical presentations to their church members, Sunday school students, and the public. There are controversial sections because their tenets tend to defy or contradict the other sections of the Bible, which deal with the process of attaining godliness. Indeed, these sections tend to contradict everything about being godly because of the brutality of some of the suggestions. To accomplish the goal of the presentation, it is argued here that 1. The Bible is more appropriate to be regarded as a general purpose book which deals with various aspects of ancient societies in the Middle East, North Africa, and Southern Europe, as well as provide guidance for living spiritually. 2. Therefore, it contains philosophical, historical, sociological, political, religious, military, and spiritual information about those ancient societies. And 3. The various sections of the Bible were written by individuals who were greatly influenced by their cultures. Hence, it includes ways of attaining godliness as well as ways to go to war, kill, pillage, and enslave. Now, the presentation is divided into 9 sections. You have section 1, war, killings, and pillaging. 2, mass killings. 3, war, buri. 4, killings of non-believers. 5. Killings of false prophets. 6. Death due to committing abomination. 7. Slavery and servitude. 8. Sex slave. And 9. Rape. So let's go one by one and look at the different sections. 1. War, killings and pillaging. Numbers 31 verse 6 to 18. So let's go step by step and read them. 31 verse 6 reads, And Moses sent them to the war, 1,000 of every tribe, them, and Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the priest. So the war with the holy instruments and the trumpets to blow in his hand. And verse 7, and they warred against the Midianites, as the Lord commanded Moses, and they slew all the males. Verse 8, and they slew the kings of Midian, beside the rest of them that were slain, namely Evi, Rekem, Zor, Hor, Reba, 5 kings of Midian, Balaam, also the son of Behor, they slew with the sword. Verse 9, and the children of Israel took all the women of Midian captives, and their little ones, and took the spoil of all their cattle, and all their flocks, and all their goats. So they literally cut away everything. After killing all the men, they took the women, they took the children and all their properties. Verse 10, and they burned all their cities wherein they dwelt, and all their goodly castles with fire. Verse 11, and they took all the spoil and all the prey, both of men and beast. Verse 12, and they brought the captives and the prey and the spoil unto Moses and Eleazar, the priest, and unto the congregation of the children of Israel, unto the camp at the plains of Moab, which are by Jordan, near Jericho. 31 verse 13, and Moses and Eleazar the priest, all the princes of the congregation, went forth to meet them without the camp. Verse 17, now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that had known man by lying with him. Verse 18, but all the women, children that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves. Basically, they said they should kill all the men and the women that have had sex, and then spare all the women and children that have never had sex, but keep them as slaves or as captives. Zechariah 14 verse 1 to 2. Step by step again. Verse 1, behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. Verse 2, for I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. That means destroy the city catch all the women and rape them and keep them as captives. Let's go to mass killings. 1. Judges 21, verse 10 to 24. Again, step by step. Verse 10. And the congregation sent thither 12,000 men of the valiantest, and commanded them, saying, Go and smite the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead with the edge of the sword, with women and children. Verse 11. And this is the thing that he shall do. Ye shall utterly destroy every male and every woman that had lain by man. Again, kill all the men and women that have had sexual intercourse. Now, let's go to mass killings and rape. We go to Isaiah 13, verse 15 to 18. Now, verse 15 says, Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Verse 16, Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Verse 18, Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Thy eye shall not spare children. That means what? Rape the women, destroy the houses, even kill children unborn that are in the womb. This is what you call total war of destruction. Exodus 20, verse 22 to 24. So let's look at verse 22. Ye shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. Verse 23. If thou afflict them in any wise, and they cry at all unto me, I will surely hear their cry. Verse 24. And my wrath shall wax hot, and I will kill you with the sword. And your wives shall be widows, and your children fatherless. Let's go to Warbury. What does the Bible say? Deuteronomy 22, verse 10 to 14. When thou comest nigh unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it. And it shall be, if it make thee answer of peace, and open unto thee, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee, and they shall serve thee. Verse 12. And if it will make no peace with thee, but will make war against thee, then thou shalt besiege it. So as you can see, there is no win situation for the city being attacked, because even if they offer peace, they will end up becoming like slaves. And if they end up fighting a war, they will still be besieged, destroyed, and killed and captured. So it's a no-win situation for any city that is being attacked. 20 verse 13. And when the Lord thy God had delivered it unto thine hands, thou shalt smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword. Verse 14. But the women and the little ones and the cattle and all that is in the city, even all the spoil thereof, shalt thou take unto thyself, and thou shalt eat the spoil of thy enemies, which the Lord thy God hath given thee. Verse 15. Thus shalt thou do unto all the cities which are very far off from thee, which are not of the cities of these nations. Now, going to the killing of non-believers, see what the Bible has for that. 2 Chronicles 15, verses 12 to 15. Again, let's go step by step. Verse 12. And they enter into a covenant to seek the Lord God of their fathers with all their heart and with all their soul. Verse 13. That whosoever would not seek the Lord God of Israel should be put to death, whether small or great, whether men or women. Verse 15. And they swear unto the Lord with a loud voice and with corners. Deuteronomy 13, verse 13 to 18. Again, let's go step by step. Verse 13. Certain men, the children of Belial, are gone out from among you, and have withdrawn the inhabitants of their city, saying, Let us go and serve other gods, which ye have not known. Verse 14. Then shalt thou inquire and make search, and ask diligently, and behold, if it be truth, and the thing certain, that such abomination is wrought among you. Verse 15. Thou shalt surely smite the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, destroying it utterly, and all that is therein. So this is a total holy war approach. Destroy, kill anybody that does not believe in the particular religion suggested by God. No mercy, both men, women. It's brutal. And the cattle thereof with the edge of the sword. Verse 16. And thou shalt gather all the spoil of it into the midst of the street thereof, and shalt burn with fire the city, and all the spoil thereof, of every wheat, for the Lord thy God, and it shall be a heap forever. It shall not be built again. Verse 18. When thou shalt hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep all his commandments, which I commanded thee this day, to do that which is right in the eyes of the Lord thy God. As you can see, no mercy, no forgiveness. You burn the entire city, you kill, and you loot everything. It's justified under the Bible. Exodus 22 verse 20. He that sacrificeth unto any god, save unto the Lord only, he shall be utterly destroyed. Due to these sections of the Bible, it is difficult for Christianity and Islam to accept the existence of other religions. They campaign vigorously even today to destroy other religions. This contributes to the reason most educated Christians and Muslims have little or no knowledge of other religious cultures. Now, let's look at the killing of false prophets. Zechariah 13 verse 3. And it shall come to pass that when any shall yet prophesy, then his father and his mother that begat him shall say unto him, Thou shalt not live, for thou speakest lies in the name of the Lord. And his father and his mother that beckoned him shall trust him true when he prophesied. Again, this is serious. That means all false prophets should be killed. Now, let's look at death due to committing abominations. Deuteronomy 17, verse 12. And the man that will do presumptuously and will not hearken unto the priest that standeth to minister there before the Lord thy God, or unto the judge, even that man shall die, and thou shalt put away the evil from Israel. Verse 13. And all the people shall hear and fear, and do no more presumptuously. Leviticus 20, verses 9 to 14. Again, let's go step by step. Verse 9. For everyone that curseth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death. He had cursed his father or his mother, his blood shall be upon him. Let's look at slavery and servitude. The Bible supports slavery. Leviticus 25, verses 44 to 46. Again, step by step. Verse 44. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids. Verse 45. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they becked in your land, and they shall be your possession. Verse 46. And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children. So basically, this is racial or tribal discrimination. It's saying you take from the other tribes which are referred to as heathen and make them slaves. You see, even strangers that live among you, you can turn them into slaves, which is again very serious. To inherit them for a possession. They shall be your bondmen forever, but over your brethren, the children of Israel, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor. Exodus 21, verses 2 to 6. Again, let's go step by step. Verse 2. If thou buy Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th year he shall go out free for nothing. Verse 3. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. Verse 4. If his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. Verse 5. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free. Verse 6. Then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring to the door, or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. So here, if the man wants to live with the wife and children, if the wife was betrothed through the masters, then the wife and the children will remain with the masters. So the man cannot even live with his wife and children after being free from bondage. Ephesians 6 verse 5. Servant, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh, with fear and trembling, in singleness of your heart, as unto Christ. 1 Timothy 6 verses 1 to 2. Verse 1. Let as many servants as are under the yoke count their own masters worthy of all honor, that the name of God and his doctrine be not blasphemed. So even God recognizes this master-servant relationship and master-slave relationship, that the servant or the slave must obey the master in order to be godly. Timothy 1 6 verse 2. And they that have believing masters, let them not despise them, because they are brethren, but rather do them service, because they are faithful and beloved, partakers of the benefit. These things teach and exhort. Luke 12 verses 47 and 48. Again, let's look at it. Verse 41 says, and that servant which knew his Lord's will, and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. Verse 48. But he that knew not, and did not commit things worthy of stripes, shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required. And to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. So can you imagine if your master beating you up like a child, all in the name of being godly? It is a serious matter, you know. And many people don't go into these sections of the Bible. Sex slaves. The Bible supports sex slavery. Exodus 21 verse 7 to 11. Again, let's go one by one. Verse 7. And if a man sell his daughter to be a maid servant, she shall not go out as the men's servants do. Verse 8. If she please not her master, who had betrothed her to himself, then shall he let her be redeemed. To sell her unto a strange nation, he shall have no power, seeing he had dealt deceitfully with her. Verse 9. And if he have betrothed her unto his son, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters. Exodus 21 verse 10. If he takes him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. Verse 11. And if he do not these three unto her, then shall she go out free without money. Zechariah 14 verses 1 to 2. Verse 1. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoils shall be divided in the midst of time. Verse 2. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Again, this is a serious matter. You destroy the entire city, you rape all the women, and then you take half of the population of the city into captivity. It's serious. Rape. Deuteronomy 22 verse 28 to 29. Again, let's go one after the other. Verse 28. If a man find a damsel in the field that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found. Verse 29 reads, Then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he had humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. Basically, if a man rapes a young virgin or sleeps with a young virgin and they are found out, then he must be made to marry her and pay the father a certain sum of money, and he will take her as his wife because he has humiliated or humbled her. Conclusion. There is no doubt that the Bible is the most widely read book on earth. Those who are religiously oriented believe that the Bible contains the words of God and revere it as a sacred book. Those who are academically oriented believe that the Bible is simply another book written by humans to document the philosophical, religious, sociological, historical, political, and military beliefs, stories, and practices of ancient societies in the Middle East, North Africa, and Southern Europe. Those who are religiously oriented tend to read only the sections of the Bible that reinforce their beliefs and practices, especially those areas dealing with godliness. On the other hand, those who are academically inclined tend to read the Bible in a comprehensive manner in order to analyze, compare, and summarize the writings and draw conclusions. It is the case that considerable sections of the Bible are devoted to mastering the ways of worshiping God and being in one with God. As a result, the Bible is considered as a sacred book. However, there are sections in the Bible that are devoted to engaging in behaviors that are contrary to godliness, including fighting wars, destroying cities, engaging in massive enslavement, and massive killings of those who lost in battle. There are sections devoted to enslaving and even raping if necessary. Thus, there is a contradiction between doing those things to receive God and engaging in violence that requires even killing of women and children and the destruction of entire cities. Thus, the Bible provides the good, bad, and the ugly. Since the Bible justifies both being merciful and godly and being unmerciful and ungodly, it could be inferred that organized religious organizations have been some of the most violent, destructive forces in human history. No wonder the Abrahamic religions, including Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, engage in holy wars, carry out massive killings and destruction as justified in the Bible. Hence, in the early years of Christianity, the exponents used crusades, inquisitions, witch hunting, death through torture, and burned by fire as tactics to compel Europeans to convert to Christianity. Exponents of Islam have no hesitation in waging violent and destructive holy wars to force people to convert. It should be noted that the Roman Catholic Church, through papal declarations, divided the non-Christian world and authorized Portugal and Spain to invade, destroy, and enslave non-Christians in the 15th century. These bulls resulted in the massacre of Native Americans and the eventual mass enslavement of millions of Africans starting in the 15th century. The Jews are constantly threatened with war and enslavement also. Before the Atlantic slave trade, the Arabs and Muslims carted away millions of black Africans as slaves. That is why you go to places like India, Iraq, Syria, even Palestine, you have African blacks that were taken there as slaves. These actions were taken due to biblical justifications. So you see, the Bible contains the word of God, as some people believe, and it also contains ways in which you can destroy, you can kill, you can rape, and you can enslave. Thank you for listening to these presentations. Please subscribe to the channel and listen to other interesting presentations on various topics. Again, thank you very much.